And the sons of the chamber came to present themselves before the Lord with the help of VI marketing and CMA strategies. Came too present budget surpluses built from deficit lives, PowerPoints about public-private partnerships with the private in bold and the public barely visible. And yes, Satan came also once again. He did not need to beg for power. He'd already been given a key card. He walked through the doors with ease, past the fountains at Canterbury, past the mural that looks like a child's dream of a city, and into the bone marrow of a machine built not to serve but to siphon. He did not knock. He was invited, and he overplayed his hand. But no one cared. Because he smiled. Because his tweets had clean edges and his suit fit like he still believed in the afterlife. Because the Democrats, God bless their feckless hearts, lifted him higher instead of shouting him down. 4 years of silence. 4 years of soft complicity. 4 years of please clap. And so his distinguished majesty floated untouched, unbothered, exalted. They crowned him with false claims of consensus. They called him moderate while he privatized necessity. They called him smart while he outsourced city studies to firms next to Botox clinics. They called him empathetic while the shelters overflowed and the tents crawled up from the river like weeds in a dream you can't wake from. They called him leader. The megachurches hummed in the background, morphing from asceticism to hedonism like it was nothing, LED crosses and fog machines, Instagrammable suffering. The Lebanese restaurant on the edge of the village used to be a family place. Now it's a destination for the second wave OKC PMC crowd, venturing timidly beyond Midtown like missionaries, bringing artisanal wine to the natives. You walk in and it's like a Copeland song is playing. But you know that, in the not-too-distant future, it'll be that one creepy song from Requiem for a Dream, and nobody will admit they saw it coming. There is no story that explains the present, no narrative that can be sold without breaking into parody. Hope has evaporated. The mayor, God help him, that human options straddle, isn't even pretending to hide it anymore. He feeds his megalomania with arenas and murals, economic plans as empty as his eyes when he talks about possibility, because his economic game is infinite war and infinite arenas. He is a walking hedge, a literal straddle of risk, a man so severed from the working class that his mouth can't form the word rent without flinching. His supporters are organic anti-intellectuals, cobbled together from real estate brunches and LinkedIn addiction. They nod along to TEDx platitudes like it's scripture. No cost is too high for winning. They whisper about mental health, commission reports, host wellness weeks. But if you actually have a breakdown in Oklahoma, it's different. It matters, because here we are taught to be proud, to suffer in silence, to mock therapy. We are told we don't need help, that therapy is for coastal elites, that you're weak if you break. So when it happens, and it will happen, it swallows you. The shame becomes the storm. You don't just hurt, you vanish. And when you do, the mayor is there, smiling, shaking hands, taking pictures in front of another luxury project, while quoting Maya Angelou with the cadence of an auctioneer. You try to talk about it, about any of it, and people disassociate. Their eyes glaze like windshields in a sandstorm. You mention the billionaires, the spending, the jail, the dead, the surveillance, the sidewalk budgets going to facade consultants, and they blink like you spoke in tongues. Because there is a doctrine here, unwritten but firm, find the words to make the outrageous sound like common sense. And Satan came also once again, not as a devil but as a developer, not with fire, but with zoning codes. Not to destroy, but to rebrand. To take your pain and turn it into content. To take your grief and call it a marketing opportunity. To build a digital amphitheatre on the edge of your despair and sell naming rights to Blackstone. To swap out your voice with a hashtag and call it progress. He does not need to convince you. He only needs to exhaust you. Because when you are tired, you will believe anything. And so the city marches on. Hope turns to noise. Noise turns to fog. Fog turns to architecture. And the only thing left standing in the centre of it all is a man with perfect teeth and empty hands. And Satan came also once again, and nobody noticed.